Greetings and welcome to the introduction to astronomy. In this week's exploration of the solar system, we are going to talk about the Luna 24 craft and its exploration of our moon. So let's go ahead and get started here. And what we see is here is the mock-up of the Luna 24 spacecraft. Now this was launched back in 1976 and specifically on August the 9th of 1976. It landed, soft landed on the moon on August the 19th, having gone into orbit around the moon. And then the landing portion would go down. And the landing site was Mare Crisium, so an area that had previously not been explored. And that was the idea of the last couple of Luna spacecraft, that they were looking at some of the areas that were not explored by the Apollo missions. So this was one that was not explored, and a chance to be able to look at something different. Now it would landed in again Mare Crisium, and we can see the landing site pictured here and in more detail in the little inset image. So just up above and to the right of the main object in the image here. And that is where it landed, and then had a robotic arm that would reach out and gathered, in this case, about 170 grams of lunar material. Now, what do you do with that material? Well, you bring it back to Earth. So the portion of this, the upper portion of this craft that we saw, would have then had enough fuel to be able to launch back in. So most of this craft is still left there on the moon today. The upper portion, the very upper part, was then launched off and then brought back down to Earth, brought back into Earth's orbit, and then back into Earth itself. And that was returned on August the 22nd of 1976. So in all, it was about a 2-week mission from launch to returning to Earth. Now this was really kind of a last for our exploration of the moon for quite a while. So the moon had been a big target of both the United States and the Soviet Union in the 60s and early 70s. But at this point, attention was being turned elsewhere, as we'll see in other discussions that we have on other spacecraft. But this was actually the last soft landing of any craft on the moon until 2013, and was the last sample return mission until 2020. Both of those are when the Chinese Space Agency sent a craft to explore, soft land, and return samples from the moon. Now, one of the interesting things about Luna 24 is that the samples have claims that water was detected at a very low amount. One of the difficulties is it hasn't been able to be confirmed because of the small sample size. And there is always the possibility that contamination occurred, and this could not be precisely ruled out. So let's go ahead and finish up with our summary. And what we've looked at this time is that Luna 24 was the final lunar mission of the Soviet Union. It returned 170 grams of material from Mare Crisium and was the last soft landing and sample return mission to the moon for decades. So that concludes this discussion on the Luna 24 mission to the moon. We'll be back again next week for another topic in our exploration of the solar system. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.